And 3, 2, 1. We are live. Welcome to Powderhorn Mountain Resort up here at the CMU Mavs Take Over the Mountain Dual Slalom Ski Race. Today we are going to be watching head-to-head dual slalom races, starting off with the qualifiers this morning. Our racers were scheduled to get started at 10:15. The start time has been pushed back to 10:30. We'll start dropping forerunners at 10:28, including the Maverick mascot making his run through the gates, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, Rowdy. I heard a rumor that Rowdy is going through the gates, so we'll have to see how that goes. Today's race is hosted by Powderhorn Racing Club. I want to give a big shout out to the sponsors that help make this ski hill possible. Leitner Poma, We Move People, Leitner Poma of America, Timberline Bank, a full-service independent and locally owned bank. Shaw Construction, since 1962, Shaw has provided professional construction services throughout the Rocky Mountain region. The Greater Grand Junction Sports Commission, a nonprofit agency with the mission of representing Grand Junction and Mesa County, recruiting, supporting, and creating sporting events that positively impact our community. Reams and Reams Law, established in 1955, it's a private law firm specializing in estate and probate matters. Intermountain Health and Rocky Mountain Orthopedics. Rocky Mountain Orthopedics keeps your care close to home without compromising the quality of your care. Specializing in elbow, foot, ankle, knee, hand, wrist, hip, surgical and non-surgical therapy options available. Dufford Wadlick Law, responsive and experienced for over 50 years, founded in 1964. They started with the focus on water, real estate, and agricultural law. Rocky Toppers and Campers, your one-stop shop for truck accessories, truck campers, truck toppers, cargo solutions, tonneau covers, accessories, and installation. Towie, the adventure tow bungee for mountain bikes, skiers, motorcycles, water sports, dog leashes, and snowmobiles, and more. Go check out Towie Adventure Tow Bungees. Big thank you to Board and Buckle for supporting the CMU ski team. Board and Buckle Ski and Cyclery in Grand Junction, Colorado is uniquely qualified to service your needs with years of experience in bikes and skis. Today we're going to be seeing racers from colleges all across the Rocky Mountain region, including the Air Force Academy, Colorado School of Mines, University of Denver, Colorado Mesa University, Colorado State University, Fort Lewis College, University of Colorado Boulder, University of Utah, Western Colorado University, Mesa State University. Wait, I have that in there twice. And University of Wyoming. When I went there, it was Mesa State. I don't know why I put Mesa State in there. But anyways, Colorado Mesa University, CMU. Athletes, fast ones. Okay, looking at results from last year, I'll read off the top 10. So for the women, first place, Katie Burvey, Grace Finverloa, Melissa Umble, Skylar Menka, Nicole Nolting, Ellie Dunham, Jane Freund, Philippa Townshend, Skylar Alderman, and Tess Beyer were the top 10 finishers from last year's event. Let's switch over to the men. So men, number one was TJ Weaver, putting on a show all weekend. Tucker Schultz, John Olson, Joseph Olson, Declan Peacott, Peter Spencer, Michael Gross-Nicholas, I got that, Matthew Gozum, Carl Gertner, and Conley Andrew finishing in the top 10 from last year's slalom. If you're up here at the mountain and happen to have an FM radio in your pocket, we are broadcasting on 107.1. So we're broadcasting all the audio from today's live feed. The real purpose for that was to get the sound to the top of the mountain. So we have been putting speakers up at the start, and we are struggling getting a wire all the way up to the start that did what we needed. So we installed an FM radio channel, and we are broadcasting to the top. We've got a boom box at the top tuned into 107.1, and they can hear my voice at the top. Hey, people at the top, I'm looking at you right now with my long lens. If you can hear me, give me a wave. Let me see those hands up there at the top. Yeah, I see you. I see you. It is awesome that you guys can hear me up there over an FM frequency. We just installed that yesterday, so wasn't sure it was going to work, honestly. It is 10:21. Forerunners will go shortly. If you're looking at the feed, the left panel, so I've got two cameras running. The left camera is the start. The right camera is towards the finish. So the left camera sort of has a lens that's zoomed in on the start so we can see him pretty well. And you'll see somewhere around mid-course, maybe sort of a little bit below mid, you'll see that there are some panels not installed on the gates. I believe we've got some people coming down to get that put back together. So today we're going to start off with two qualifying runs. We are going to have two racers on course. So I think we're starting with the women. So we'll have two racers on course, and so they'll run, each on each color course, blue and red. They'll go back to the top and then run the other course. The combination of the two runs will determine their seed for the afternoon live dual slalom brackets. So we have something like, I'm not sure how many racers, but I think maybe in the 150 racer range, something like that. So we're only taking the top 16 women and the top 16 men into the afternoon schedule. The afternoon brackets, you can keep an eye on them at powderhornracing.org. At the live timing tab, you'll see the CMU Saturday event. If you go there, you'll see that I've got a live Google Sheet down in the web page, and so you can view the bracket, the top 16 brackets on the website, but that view has a 5-minute delay, so it's not very quick to update. Or if you click the actual Google Sheet, the document, you'll be able to see live results. Now, all of this has to be calculated manually by me. So the software does not calculate the differential timing for live head-to-head racing. So you'll see me scrambling, or you'll hear me scrambling to fill in the sheet and move the racers forward as they come through the series. The top 16, we're going to do single elimination, and then when we get to the top 4, we're going to go to racing on both courses. So qualifying is really important because you'll get your lane choice in your first bracket of 16. And if you win, that's it. You go forward. Whoever loses goes home. They're done for the week, or they're done for the day. As they get into the top 10, they'll each race on blue and red, and then the skiers will go back up, switch courses, and race again, calculating in that differential. So if skier 1 is 1 second ahead, they'll go back to the top. If skier 2 wins by 1.5 seconds in the second run, skier 2 wins. All right, I just got word on the radio, 4 runners are getting sent in 3 minutes. Hey, I'm taking a look at our YouTube stats. We've got 34 viewers on YouTube. This is the most I've ever had live. One of the nice things about the YouTube feed is that you can go back and watch the race later, or you sort of have a replay feature live. So while it's going, if you're going to watch the run again, you can just skip back live right in the feed. So delayed viewing is powerful. Okay, I just heard on the radio we are holding for 15 more minutes. Pushed back 15 more minutes. Okay, we got 15 minutes to fill, so I think I'm going to take the microphone and go for a walk. Another one of the upgrades that we did to the system is we installed microphone antennas on the outside of the shack. Last year, I would walk down here and try to get interviews from the racers as they finished, and my mic would start cutting out. So I kind of wish I had like a live camera operator that could turn the cameras around with me. So I'm going to come up here and say hi. Hi, camera. Okay, I'm walking downhill. You can't see me, but we're going to go talk to some people. So get ready, people. I need an interview for someone to tell me where they're from, how they're doing, what's going on. Oh, the crowd is separating. I've got a volunteer over here. Hands up. Let's see if my new mic is going to last. So I'm coming over to you guys on the far side. Is that where I'm going? All right, yeah. Okay, so this mic, you got to get really close to it. You got to get right up on it. Now, the gentleman I'm walking up to right now, his arm is in a sling. This is his left arm is not working. So tell us your name, where you're from, and what's going on.
So my name is John Duda. I'm from the University of Colorado Club Ski Racing Team. And last weekend at Powderhorn, I zigged when I should have zagged.
Oh no! Did anyone see this?
No, thankfully.
just you solo, just wadding.
Yeah, no, there was a course guy right there. It was pretty embarrassing.
Oh wow. Okay, so now you're able to ski off under your own power.
Yeah. Doctors said no more skiing though for the foreseeable future.
Oh man, what if they rode you off in the sled just over an arm injury? That wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, that would have been what's the word for it? Shameful.
So tell me, how do you think your team is going to do today?
I think they're going to be electric. I mean, we've got some heavy hitters. We got Riley Schmidt, Dylan Thompson. Who could forget Michael Startek, my roommate? He's going to kill it today. He's wearing my race suit. I'm hype. Jenna Blatchford. Yeah, Ellie Dunham.
Okay, hang on. I got someone here that seems like she's got a lot to say. Tell us who you are and tell us about it.
Oh, Molly Lynch. Just never forget the girls. Jenna Blatchford, Casey Benjaminson, Nicole Norting, Ellie Dunham, Annika Ort.
All right. Okay, now I've got a camera guy here with me. What are you working on today? I don't know. He doesn't want to talk. He says his knee's hurting. He's not doing it today. All right. Well, good job. Okay, all right. So you guys can't see it on the cameras, but there's a group of kids came up looking like they want to talk on the mic, and then I asked who did, and they all took a step back. But I know I'm kidding. I've got a good guy here. All right, tell us your name and what you're doing up here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jack Lackman here. So I am on a snowboard, and I'm on the CMU Nordic team. You know, this is the Nordic squad here. So coming up to support the CMU downhill team. I think they're gonna cook. I think it's gonna be a money race. So I'm excited to see it.
So describe to me how you keep up with the Nordic skiers on your snowboard.
So the thing is, the real question should be how can they keep up with us two snowboarders, me and Ruthie? Yeah, the cross country snowboarders over here. Yeah, pretty.
So you're just going kick push. Ruthie, tell me.
Yep, you gotta.
Okay, all right. So the Nordic team, we got some time to fill. Tell me more about that program. Who else can tell me more about that? All right, everyone keeps pointing at the red jacket guy. All right.
I'm a freshman. So we do cross country skiing. So classic and skate. So we gotta put in the work. You know, we don't just go down the hill, we go up the hill too.
So is that something that downhill ski racers should feel bad about?
Yeah. They just get to ride the lift and then, you know, gravity takes them down the hill.
Yeah, I mean they're not earning their turns.
Facts.
Facts. Okay, all right. We got the camera guy is back. He thought of something to say. Here we go.
School bus, baby!
All right, there it is. Woo! All right, guys. Well, I'm going to work my way back up in the booth. Thank you so much for coming to see me. Thanks for the support of the race. We really appreciate you guys. All right, I got some parents here. We're going to talk to you on the way up. Oh, they just took a big, deep breath. Okay, who wants to talk to me? Okay, so who are you here supporting? Where are you guys from?
I'm from Wisconsin, and my daughter, Morley Schrader, is racing with Colorado State University, and so I flew in to watch her.
Oh, wow, you flew in to watch her. That's awesome. So we don't have great snow this year, and so a lot of races around the state have been canceled due to low snow conditions. So if you guys look uphill, you would not know it. The race course here at Powderhorn Mountain is awesome. Powderhorn has put in a tremendous effort. They were blowing snow early in the season, and there were humongous piles of snow up there. Literally a week ago, this was grass with big whales of snow in a couple spots. They pushed that snow around. It took several days of maneuvering the snow to the edges so we could get the B-net in and make it safe to ski on. But man, looking uphill, it's a beautiful course. And I've skied down it, the last couple days in a row. The snow feels good underfoot. It's not icy and gnarly, but it's not soft either. I think it's going to be a really good racing surface. So I guess I point all this out because you came a long ways, and I'm glad we're able to give the kids a good race course.
I'm excited. It'll be great.
All right, it'll be great. I am heading back up towards the booth. I see our course workers up there making changes to the gates. Looks like we're getting close here. All right, back at my spot in the booth. Okay, another thanks to our sponsors, Lightner Poma of America. We move people, offering a complete line of cable transport systems, including surface lifts, chairlifts, gondolas, trams, inclined elevators. They are headquartered in France, but since 1981, all Lightner Poma detachables have been designed and manufactured here in Grand Junction, Colorado. Speaking of which, we are getting a refurbished new lift over on the west end this summer. So next year, I think we'll have a new Lightner Poma lift here at Powderhorn. Timberline Bank, a full-service, independent, and locally owned bank. The bank was chartered in October 2004 by its employees and local investors from Grand Junction, Aspen, and Montrose. Each of their markets has its own leadership and president, allowing Timberline Bank to better serve its communities because the decisions are made at a local level. Shaw Construction. Since 1962, Shaw has provided professional construction services throughout the Rocky Mountain region with the mission to build buildings and relationships that last. The Greater Grand Junction Sports Commission, a nonprofit agency with the mission of representing Grand Junction and Mesa County in recruiting, supporting, and creating sporting events that positively impact our economy and community. Reams and Reams Law, established in 1955 by Charles and Zachary Reams. They head up a private law firm specializing in estate and probate matters, including conservatorships, guardianships, estate litigation, wills, estate planning, trust and administration, and more. Ooh, fiduciary, one of my favorite words to say, fiduciary work. All right, I am hearing on the radio, we're getting ready. Heard someone say close. Let's do a time check. 10:39. One of the new features in the live feed, if you'll notice in the sponsor window, is a clock. So that is time of day embedded in the live feed. Not that we need it, but if there is ever a timing system fail, the clock and the video can give us triple redundancy on our timing systems. Board and Buckle Ski and Cyclery in Grand Junction, Colorado is a big supporter of the CMU ski teams. Board and Buckle is uniquely qualified to serve your needs with years of experience in bikes and skis. You'll run into them out on the bike, road, mountain biking, commuting, or on the ski slopes. Enter Mountain Health and Rocky Mountain Orthopedics. Rocky Mountain Orthopedics keeps your care close to home without compromising the quality of your care. We're your partner in health and healing. Elbow care, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, hip care, knee care, non-surgical spine care, occupational health, and work injury rehabilitation. Okay, it sounds like we're getting close to forerunners. I've got enough time to get another sponsor read. Dufford Wadleck Law, responsive, experienced, and focused for over 50 years. Founded in 1964 by DJ Dufford. Dufford Wadleck started with a focus on water, real estate, and agricultural law. Today, they've got 16 attorneys offering a wide range of legal services, including real estate, civil litigation, estate planning, and more. Timing clear. Okay, they are wanting to drop forerunners soon. So viewers at home, embedded into the YouTube feed, you'll see the live timing scoreboard. Sending 4 forerunners, 2 sets of 2. Okay, a lot of chatter on the radio as the course gets cleared. All officials are saying we're ready to go. Lucas is on red. Madeline is on blue. Okay, first forerunners on course. First full speed runs through the course. The athletes get to inspect the course, a slow speed slip. They're getting in through the biggest part of the bumps. So the course that we're training on right now is called Wonder Bump. Okay, let's check the time as they come through. And blue goes first. So blue was Madeline. Blue gets a 32-34, red 33-39. Althea on blue, another Maddie on red. Okay, red course finishes 33.31, 33.31. Blue course, I did not get a time on. And here comes Rowdy. Rowdy is on the red course. This is the CMU mascot. Guessing Rowdy doesn't ski all that often, but Rowdy's getting through those gates nice and smooth. Okay, Rowdy working his way down, going out of screen of the zoom lens, coming into the finish camera. Rowdy aiming for that sub-minute mark, and he gets it. Rowdy with a 54.62, 54.62 for Rowdy, the CMU mascot. Loaded in the start gate on red, Parker Bolyard, Gabrielle Seitz in the blue course. 3, 2, 1 racers on course. Okay, Parker on the red course, Gabrielle Seitz on the blue course. And Parker on the red course, 32.50, 32.50. Gabrielle, we have a small hiccup with your time, and I will get that time fixed. Hang tight for further information. Okay, Gabrielle, please cycle back up for a rerun. We are having a problem with the blue start wand. So Gabrielle, please cycle around for a rerun. Sorry about that. Okay, so they made a few adjustments to the blue wand. We got new racers. Looks like Sedona is in the red course. Paige is on the blue course from Utah. All right, Paige Peterson on blue on course. That worked. Sedona on course on red. Here we go. Blue course. Paige putting it down really fast, edge to edge. Sedona having a smooth first run, smashing that gate mid-course. They're getting into the bumps. I was going to tell you about this run we're on. Up at the top, Gracie Henning on course on blue. Casey Benjaminson on course on red. Coming to the finish, bib 3, Paige Peterson with a 24.74. An amazing time, 24.74. Up at the top, Casey on red, Gracie Henning mid-course on blue. Come through the finish on the red course, Sedona with a 32.65. Zia on course at the top on red. Grace Finverloa on course on blue. All right, on the blue course in the start gate, Evie Barber. On the red course, Lexi Ornstein is in the red course. At the finish, Gracie Henning on blue did a 24:07. Casey Benjaminson 24:15. Coming through the finish, Grace Venverloa 27.47. Grace with a 24.47. Zia 28.33. Up in the top, Jenna Platchford on the red course, on course. Bianca on blue course. Mid course, Lexi Ornstein on red coming at us. Evie Barber on blue. Coming through the finish, Evie 24.82. Lexi on the red course 28.59. Up in the top, we got Madeline Lindy Smith on red course. Emily Miller loaded on the blue. They are on course. Coming to the bottom, Jenna Blatchford on the red course. Finishes 25.50. Jenna 25.50. Bianca on the blue course 27.22. 27.22. I just heard over the radio, course stop, need repair at the finish. We have two skiers on course at the top. It's okay. Coming through the finish, Madeline on the red course finishes 27.77. Emily Miller on the blue course 28.22. Tally Nordic on the blue course. Ashley Hubert on the red course. Looks like Ashley is blown out. And at the finish, Ashley 26.85. That was Tally. Tally is going to exit. Tally. Okay, course hold for repairs. Up in the top, Madeline Travis, Hannah Ross. Madeline on the red course, Hannah Ross on the blue course. Our course, you'll see mid-course, it gets a little bit spicy. The run is called Wonder Bump. The run goes over like 6 road cuts of like, a road that zigzags up the mountain right here. And so the course is extremely bumpy. You'll get heavy G-outs at the bottom, and then you'll get light, like kind of catching air over the bumps. So for such a short course, it is extremely bumpy, and it gets sort of challenging to find that edge grip sometimes when the course is making you get light or heavy when you don't want to. So super fun and challenging course for these guys. I've noticed that when they get into the bumps, it gets a little dicey, especially skiers left. So if you're looking uphill on the right, the bumps are quite a bit more aggressive than the left. So the blue course is more difficult. I don't really have a gauge quite yet on which course is faster. I would imagine the red course is going to end up being faster, but we'll just have to see. Yeah, I was just asking on the radio if that gate that got pulled off was due to somebody going through it with a gate fault. So looking up at the top again, Madeline Travis loaded on red, Hannah Ross loaded on the blue course. Looking uphill, red is on the left, blue is on the right. They just did an additional check that the blue start gate is working. It's a start wand. They push through the wand with their shins as they come out of the start gate. Looking on the live feed, you'll see in the right camera that we've got a course worker getting that panel put back together there. Again, we've got racers out here from Air Force Academy, Colorado School of Mines, University of Denver, Colorado Mesa University, Colorado State University, Fort Lewis College, University of Colorado Boulder, University of Utah, Western Colorado University, and University of Wyoming. Okay, I just got confirmed course is clear. Ready to start next skiers. Here we go. I can see the skiers getting ready in the start gate. Again, Madeline Travis on red, Hannah Ross on blue. Hannah gets a nice jump out of the gate. Next up in the start are these. Okay, in the start, Sydney Crable and Peyton Jenkins. Sydney on red, Peyton on blue. Coming through the finish mid-course, Madeline gets a little bit out of shape, but pulls it back together again. And coming through the finish, Madeline Travis, 35.32. 35.32. Sydney, 24.38. 24.38. Okay, next skiers on course at the top. Drew Abbs on the blue course. Patricia Casey on the red course. Peyton Jennings just comes through with a 39.54. Peyton Jennings, 39.54. Patricia Casey on red. Up in the top, Sienna Hendrickson on the red course. Sophie Cahan on the blue course. At the finish on red course, Patricia Casey, 32.03, 32.03. Drew Abbs on the blue, 33.75. Up on course, Sienna Hendrickson, red, getting squirrely. Sienna out. Sophie on the blue course, keeping it together up in the start. All right, up on course right now. Anya Luke on the red course, Reese Harmon on the blue course. Next up in the start, Mackenzie Louthen on the red course, Lauren Disler on the blue course. They are on course at the top. Josephine Ross will be next up in the red. Annika Ort next up on the blue. At the finish, Reese on the blue course, 26.94. Patricia Casey was a 32.03 on red, and Anya Luke just comes through 34.19 on red. Up in the start gate, Josephine Rose on red, Annika Ort on blue. They are both on course. Coming through the finish, on blue, Reese Harmon, 26.94 on red, Mackenzie, 28.72, 28.72. Mid-course, Josephine Ross on red, Annika Ort on blue. Next up in the start, on red course, Faith Dodge and Nicole Nolting on the blue. Course worker making adjustments, staying out of the way. And next skiers on course, that's Faith Dodge on the red, Nicole Nolting on the blue. At the finish, Annika Ort, 26.73. Josephine on the red course, 35.37, 35.37. Looking uphill, Nicole Nolting on the blue, Faith Dodge on the red. Both of these girls are ripping. In the start gate, Marley Schroeder on the red course, Piper Lalia on the blue course. At the finish, Faith Dodge with a 29.36, Nicole Nolting 25.96. And next skiers on course, Morley Schroeder and Piper. Morley on red, Piper on blue. Next up in the start gate, Ellie Dunham on red, Sadie Gregory on blue. Those last skiers through, Nicole with a 25.96, Faith with a 29.36. Ellie Dunham in the start gate on red, Sadie in the start gate on blue. Both of them, that race is going. Coming through the finish, Piper on the blue course, 26.05. Marley, 31.01 to a crowd of cheering. Marley, 31.01. Ellie Dunham on course on red, Sadie on blue. In the start gate, Charlotte on blue, Wall on red. Dang, Ellie is ripping, both of them. And Ellie, 25.94. 25.94 for Ellie Dunham on red. Sadie Gregory on blue, 27.73. In the start, Charlotte is on the blue. Wall is on the red. And on course, here comes our next skiers. Looks like next up in the start gate will be Zoe Robinson on blue, Madeline McCarver on red. Are loading in the gates right now. Mid-course. Nice and smooth. Zoe Robinson in the start on blue. Madeline McCarver on the red course. Come through the finish. Charlotte Harder on blue, 27.06, 27.06. Wall with on the red course, 31.41. Next racers in the start gate. I see them loaded. And here we go. Racers on course. Zoe on the blue course, Madeline on the red course. Next up in the start gate, it's going to be Grace Jensen on blue, Kendall McLeod on red. Blue course looking good here. Up at the top, Grace Jensen on course on blue, Kendall on course on red. At the finish, Zoe on the blue course, 29.48. Madeline on the red course, 32.18. Abigail Storch in the start gate on blue. Hattie Sloan in the start gate on red. Got a pretty good battle coming down at us in the middle here. Kendall on the red course, Grace Jensen on the blue course. And Grace Jensen, 26.83. Grace, 26.83. Kendall with on red course, 27.12. 27.12. Hattie Sloan on red in the top. Abigail Storch on blue in the start. Sounds like a little adjustment to the start is being made. Okay, racers loading in the gate, and they're ready. Here we go. Racers on course. Abigail on blue, Hattie on red. Next up in the start gate, Emily Bastille on the blue course, Naya Usheva, Naya on red. You get it. Ushva. And good form coming to the finish here. That's Abigail on the blue course, 26.04, 26.04 for Abigail. On red course, Sloan with a 27.08, 27.08. Up at the top in the start gate, Alexandra loaded on the red. Julia Bastille, looks like maybe sisters on the blue course. And Alexandra and Julia on course. Nia coming in on red. Nia, 29.84, 29.84. Emily on the blue course, 32.78. Next up in the start gate, Gabrielle Seitz. Eva Molly, maybe. And Julia on the blue course coming at us, Gabrielle Seitz. I think this is a rerun, is on course on blue. 48 on red course. Alexandra, 33.82, 33.82. Julia on blue course, 33.19. In the start gate, Catherine Homburg on the blue course. Eva Malloy on the red course. Gabrielle getting her rerun in because we had a gate malfunction, a start malfunction. And up at the top, we got our two other skiers on course. Catherine on blue, Eva on red. Coming to the finish, Gabrielle on that blue course, 37.19, 37.19. The right turn on the blue course really giving people fits when it gets really bumpy there. Having some fun with the skirt on. Eva on the red course, 29.51, 29.51. Ruthie Hilding in the start gate. Margaret Monaghan on red. Ruthie on blue. At the finish, Catherine on the blue course, 35.46. Eva on the red course, 29.51. And Ruthie and Margaret on course at the top. Next up in the start gate, Abigail Stonefelt, Anastasia Maynard on the red course. Okay, Abigail on course on the blue. Anastasia on course on red. Coming to the finish, we've got red course. Margaret on red, 36.27, 36.27. On the blue course, Ruthie, 44.56. Oh, we got a skier down on blue. Skier down on blue. That's Abigail. Anastasia Maynard working her way through. Up in the start, Leah Borden on the blue course, Elizabeth Bauer on red course. In the start gate, on blue, Grace Harris is getting loaded. Annika Rosenkrantz on the red course. Leah Borden on the blue coming at us. Elizabeth Bauer on the red. Elizabeth fighting for traction there. Nearing the bottom, blue course. Leah with a 28.94, 28.94 for Leah. Grace Harris up in the top on the blue course. Anna on the red course. At the finish, red course, Elizabeth Bauer, 36.50, 36.50. Final two racers for the first runs for the women. Gabrielle Seitz. Is that? Are they on? Okay, the last two are on course. Grace Harris on blue, Anna on red. Oh, big crash, big crash. Okay, Grace Harris having a fall there. Anna on the red course comes through with 36.48. 36.48. And Grace Harris pops up, walking under her own power to get her skis with a little bit of playfulness in the step. I got to say, the crowd is cheering. She was not happy with that fall, but she's having fun. I have to say, she looks like she's having fun. Like, what's that quote? I'm flying through the air. I feel like I'm flying through the air. Dude, she was tumbling. Can I make fun of you now that you're okay? You were ragdolling like yard sale. She just went over there and laid down. She's taking a break. She may not be okay. Maybe I shouldn't make fun of her. Okay. We are going to have just a moment while we switch over to the men. Okay, timing is clear, ready for the men. I've got Tanner Rosick, bib 1, last year's champion, loaded on blue. Tucker Schultz on the red course. Okay, bib number 1 and 2. This is going to be a good one, guys. Eyes up. I see him loading. All right, dead even start. Now remember, they are really racing the clock more than they're racing each other. So they're going to go back up and run the other course here in a little bit. And then we'll see who is the fastest between the two. Red course, Tucker is really being aggressive here. Blue course gets through that tricky section, smashing those gates. Up at the top, Spencer Peterson next up on blue. Schuler Clapp on the red. Coming through the finish. Tucker Schultz on red, 23.76, 23.76. Tanner Rosick on blue, 26.71. 26.71. Spencer Skyler, that's Skyler Clapp on red. Spencer on blue up in the top. Jason Seitz on the loaded in the blue course. TJ Weaver, red course, goes flying, fully in the air. All right, that is bib 3 and 4. Don't finish. They crash simultaneously. I wonder if somebody distracted the other. That was wild. No, on that red course, Tucker was ripping. Tucker was going so fast. Something hooked. Oh, Skyler. Yeah, Skyler. Sorry, the name disappeared off my screen because they DNF'd him, so it's off my screen. But red course athlete collecting himself right there. Good job, buddy. We're rooting for you. That was a ride. Dude, I looked up. I don't know how he got so high in the air. His skis loaded and spat his feet out from under him. It was amazing. Okay, that's my sound effect for you. Here's
oh, shots fired! Oh, shots fired!
Okay. Okay, bib 4 moving out. Course is clear. Back up at the top. Jason Stites on the blue course. TJ Weaver on the red course. TJ Weaver, one to watch. Okay, and behind them, next up in the start gate, it's going to be Luke Kirchmeyer and Charles Carlin on the red course. Luke on blue course. Jason on blue course coming at us. Red course, TJ Weaver. Jeez, he got airborne right there too. I'm telling you guys, these bumps are wild. Dude, TJ just about went for a ride. Throwing down, I think that's the fastest time of the day, 22.97 on red course for TJ Weaver, 22.97. Jason Seitz on blue course, 29.52. Up on course, Luke on blue, Charles on red. In the start, Sean Collins on red, Dylan Kelly on blue. They are on course. Next up in the start, in blue, Clayton Serber and Jackson Rance on the red course. At the finish, Luke Kirchmeyer on the blue course, 25.39. Charles on the red course, 30 flat, 30.00. And Clayton and Jackson on course at the top. Noah Kirby next up in the start. Parker Schmidt next up in the start. Coming to the finish, blue, Dylan Kelly, 23.95, 23.95. Sean Collins, 23.16. And red course goes down. Sean Collins goes down earlier than the bumps. He's getting aggressive, trying to push for it. That's bib 12. Okay, Parker Schmidt in the start gate on blue. Noah Kirby on red. Next up in the start gate, Jasper Schmidt on blue. Ned McBride on red. Coming through the finish, we had Clayton Serber at 24.19 and Sean Collins 23.16. Red course looks like he's wearing a suit jacket out there. Still going for it. He doesn't care. Ned McBride on the red course in the start. Jasper Schmidt on the blue course. They are on course. Coming through the finish, we have Noah Kirby on the red course, 27.07. Noah Kirby, 27.07. Parker Schmidt, 31.28 on blue. In the start, Hamilton Peterson on the blue. Nicholas Atkin on red. Mid-course, Ned McBride on red. Jasper Schmidt on blue. Jasper, wow. I thought Jasper's day was over. Pulls it together, 23.83. 23.83 on that blue course. Ned McBride on the red course, 34.46. I was talking earlier this morning about course conditions. It is almost perfect. It is not icy, and it's not too soft. There is a ton of grip to be had out there. And these guys are showing, catching edges, catching air. Looks wild. Okay, in the start, blue, Hamilton Peterson. And on the red course, Nicholas Atkin. Almost ready. My voice is starting to scratch already. This is exciting. Okay, racers on course. Next up in the start, CMU local, Colby Malpass, Noah Bagley on the red course, Colby on the blue course. Mid course, blue just catches air coming over one of the knobs. That's Hamilton. Next up in the start, Andrew Jacobs. Harris on blue, Harrison Anderson on red. Coming through the finish on blue, Hamilton 24.15, 24.15. Nicholas on the red course 23.95. Harrison and Andrew on course at the top. Red is out. That is bib 20. DNF. Up at the top, Kingsley Aslop on blue course. Evan on blue. Or Evan is loaded on red. Blue course 21 is out. Riley Schmidt on the red course. Clayton Johnson on the blue course, loaded in the start. Oh, red getting wild. Red getting wild. Saves it, brings it back together in the air, 1 foot flying. He's not done yet. He's still behind, trying to catch up. Okay, up on the start, Edward Brookert on the red course. Ryder Isaac loaded on blue course. Coming through the finish, we got up on the top, Clayton Johnson, blue, Riley Schmidt, red. At the finish, Kingsley on the blue course, 26.06. And Evan putting on that show, 27.52. 27.52 up at the top. Ryder Isaac on blue course, on course. Edward on the red course, on course. Next up, loaded in the start gate, Edward Coney is on blue. Owen Wood on the red course. Coming through the finish on blue, Clayton Johnson, 27.57. Riley Schmidt, 25.61. Owen and Edward on course at the top. Next up in the start, Ethan Squire on blue course. Jacob on the red course. Ryder Isaac comes through with a 27.47. 27.47. On red course, Edward Brookhart, 28.23. Edward and Owen, mid-course, coming to the finish, loading in the start. Ethan on the blue course, Jacob on the red course. Really close finishes here at the bottom. Edward on blue course, 25.66, 25.66. Owen Wood, 25.89. Woo! Gotta take a breath. Okay, Jacob, bib 32 on red course will not start. Ethan Squire. Ethan Squire going solo, bib 31 on blue course. Okay, clear to resume racing. Okay, here we go. So it's going to be solo run on blue. Ethan on blue, here we go. Okay, Dylan Schur on blue in the start. Connor Hamlin on the red course in the start. And here we go. Skiers on course. Dylan Thompson next up on blue. Johan Friesen next up on the red. Coming to the finish on blue. Ethan 28.56, 28.56. Next up in the start, Johan on red. Dylan Thompson on blue. Coming to the finish, Connor Hamlin on red, 25.28, 25.28. And Ethan on the blue course, 30.24, 30.24. Quick little course fix at the bottom. Okay, here we go. Racers on course. Johan on red, Dylan on blue. Next up in the start, Zachary Higbee on the blue course, Frank Brandt on the red course. Dylan looking good on blue. Pulling that tuck halfway down. Up at the top, Zach and Frank on course. Parker Anderson next up in the start. Finn Fisher on red, Parker on blue. At the finish, Dylan Thompson, 23.00, 23.00. Well, red jumping back and forth. Blue had a trouble at the start. Blue has another trouble. Ski is off. That is bib 37. I think, okay, at the finish, we had red, Frank Brandt, 24.63, 24.63. Dylan on blue course, 23 flat, 23.00. Next skiers on course, Finn Fisher on red, Parker Anderson on blue. Loading in the gate, Harrison Wilson on blue, Alexander Ball on red. Finn Fisher at the finish, bib 40 with a 25.38. 25.38. Parker Anderson on blue, 26.58. 26.58. Now, for those that haven't been or haven't watched live slalom racing at this level, keeping the course together is a challenge every year. We've got flags off. So the skiers ski so aggressively, they go right at the gates. The gates are spring-loaded. You can smash into them. It hurts a little bit, but they can kind of just run them over, and it does some damage. Okay, we got racers on course. That's Alexander Ball on red, Harrison Wilson on blue. This is going to be interesting. Boot skiing official is out of the way. That's okay. Palmer Lyons is next up on the red course. James McNamara on course on blue. Coming to the finish, we just had Harrison Wilson on blue course, 24.07. Alexander Ball, 26.01. 26.01 on the red course. Palmer Lyons on red. James on blue. In the start gate, John Synan on red. Francis Roth on blue. Next up in the start gate, Nico Tweedy on blue. Domenico Lazaresso on red. At the finish, James with on blue course 24.52. Palmer Lyons on red course 29.69. 29.69. Blue just went down. That's 45. Okay, that's bib 45. Francis Roth got bucked out going into those bumps. At the finish on red, John with a 24.49. 24.49. Bib 47, Nico on blue course, Dominico on red course. Up at the top, Jaden Spitz is loading on red. Nikolai check-in is loading on the blue. Man, red course really dipping in there, finding that traction. Oh, blue spits out. Blue, Nico Tweedy, bib 47. Okay, grabs his stuff and the panel and is out. Okay, on course. Nikolai on the blue course, Jaden Spitz on red course. Up at the top, we've got skiers on course. That is Kai Jefferson on the blue course, Daniel Standage on the red course. At the finish, Jaden Spitz on red, 26.64. On blue, Nikolai, 30.76, 30.76. In the start gate, Ivan Jensen on blue, Ashton Hicks on red. Okay, Ivan Jensen on course at the top on blue, Ashton on red. Coming through the finish, we just had Kai on the blue course, 29.67. Daniel Standage, red, 26.87. Blue, doing the turtle, sliding on his back, doing the back roll. There's my falling sound effect. That was 5-3. Okay, bib 53, okay. Up in the top, blue, Trip on the blue course. Marcus Hirschberner on the red course. Coming at us, Jack Rusinars is on the red. Zachary Hall on blue. Oh. Okay, in the start, Marcus on the red course, Trip on blue course. Here we go, racers on course. Okay, up in the top, Jacob Kovacs on red course, Ian Blakemore on blue course. Coming through the finish, we just had Trip Malden on the blue go 26.72. Marcus on the red course with a time of 27.76. Okay, so on the red course, this is Jacob. Jacob, I think, missed the original run, so he gets what's considered a provisional rerun, which is good for Jacob. At least he gets a run. Okay, this is Jacob, bib 32 on the red course. Now, Ian Blakemore on the blue course. Connor Hamlin. Okay, Jacob on red course, bib 32. Jacob on red course just finished with a 35.90, 35.90. We got skiers on course, skiers on course. Okay, final racers. Okay, so finishing there. So we got Ian Blakemore on blue course, Matt Diedrich on the red course up at the top. Coming through the finish, we just had blue finish with a 31.27, 31.27. Red finish with a 36.18, 36.18. Up on course, Ian on the blue course, Matt on the red course. And that is a good run on blue for Ian, 24.44. 24.44 for Ian. Matt on red course, 29.24. 29.24. Okay, just got off the radio with the race. We, just so everyone knows, afternoon start time is going to get pushed to 1 o'clock. So lives is pushed to 1 o'clock. We started 45 minutes late. We're only starting 30 minutes behind, which is not too bad, trying to make up some time here. So we are getting ready for the second runs of our qualifying. Sounds like we're going to try for a 12:45 and then be ready to push back 15 if we need it. And so the Okay, so afternoon races, 12:45 is the start time. If there's a holdup, it will be me because I have to build the afternoon brackets. Okay, getting ready for afternoon runs. We have the girls reloaded back in the gate. So on the first run, we had odds on blue, evens on red, and now we're switching. Is that right? Yeah, so Gabrielle Seitz is loaded on red, and we have a time for her of 37:19 from blue earlier. So, yeah, odd bibs are going to be on red, even bibs on blue. Okay, all officials are calling clear from the bottom to the top. We're getting ready for ladies' second runs. Gabrielle, red course. Parker on the blue course. Bib 1, Gabrielle Seitz is not starting. We're switching red to bib 3, Paige Peterson. Okay, Parker is going solo. Parker Bullyard on blue course solo. Loaded in the start gate. Paige Peterson on red course. Sedona on the blue course. Okay, on course the top. Sedona on blue. Paige on red. Coming through the finish on blue course. Parker on blue, 31.88. 31.88, going faster than the red course. So now we're going to start to get times. So the same skier, we're going to get times on both courses. This will give us a feel on which course is faster. Up at the top, Casey Benjaminson on blue, Gracie Henning on red. Zia is next up on blue, Grace Finverloa next up on red. Coming through the finish on red, Paige Peterson. Paige Peterson. I've got Paige Peterson on that red course, 26.00. Paige Peterson red, 26.00. On the blue course, Sedona, 32.83. Casey, 24.80. Over on red, we just had Grace, 28.25. 28.25. Red course, Evie 26.49. Over on blue course, Lexi on the blue gets 26.66. Jenna Blatchford coming at us on the blue course. Madeline Smith up at the top on blue course. Emily Miller on red course. Jenna on the blue course, 25.08. 25.08. Madeline on the blue course, 27.61. 27.61 for Madeline. Emily Miller on the red course, 28.97. 28.97. Ashley Hubert on the blue course, bib 16 solo. Okay, Hannah Ross on the red course, Madeline Travis on the blue course. Coming through the finish, Ashley Hubert on blue, 28.18. 28.18. Up in the start gate, Peyton Jenkins on red, Sydney Crable on blue. Okay, bib 19, Peyton Jenkins. Not starting. Sydney solo on blue. Ooh, Sydney getting a little squirrely there. Okay, coming through the finish on the red course, bib 17, Hannah Ross. Red course, 34.95, 34.95. Blue course, Madeline Travis did a 34.17. Sydney just came through on blue, 24.39, 24.39 for blue. Sydney. Up at the top, Patricia Casey on course on blue, Drew Abs on course on red. Next up in the start gate, Sienna Hendrickson on blue, Sophie Can on red. And Sophie and Sienna on course. Next up in the start is going to be Reese Harmon on the red course, Anya Luke on the blue course. At the finish, blue course, Patricia 31.97, 31.97. On the red course, Drew Abs, red, 33.91. Up at the top, Anya on course, Reese Harmon on course. In the start gate, Lauren Disler on red, McKinsey on blue. At the finish, Sienna on blue course with a bib 28 is not going to start. So on blue course, Josephine Ross. Coming at the finish, Sienna Hendrickson just did a 25.08 on blue. Anya Luke just goes 33.59 on blue. Over on red, catching up, Sophie did a 30.70. Reese Harmon with a time of 28.17. Up at the top, Annika Ort, solo. Okay, Annika Ort, red course, 27.70. On blue course, Anya, blue course, 33.59. Up in the top, Morley Schroeder on the blue course, Piper on the red course. At the finish, we just had Josephine Ross come through on blue, 36.67. Nicole Nolting finishing up. Okay, 33, Piper on course on red solo. At the finish, Josephine Ross, blue course 36.67, and Nicole Nolting, red course 26.68. Up in the top, 36, Ellie Dunham on blue, Sadie Gregory on red. They are on course at the top. Coming towards the bottom, Piper solo on red. Next up in the start gate, Charlotte Harder on red. Gianna Wall on blue. Wall and Harder on course at the top. Next up on the start, Madeline Carver on blue, Zoe Robinson on red. Come through the finish, we had Josephine on blue course 36.67, Piper on red 27.39, and then just coming through, Ellie on the blue course 25.29, and Sadie on red course 28.24. Madeline McCarver. Timing confirm, 4-0, Madeline not starting. Zoe Robinson, 3-9 on course on red. Come through the finish, we just had Wall on the blue course, 32.80, 32.80. Charlotte on red course, 27.20. Up in the start, Kendall on the blue course, Grace Jensen on the red course, and they are on course. Next up in the start, Patty Sloan on the blue, Abigail Storch on red, loading in the start gate. Coming to the finish, Zoe Robinson on blue, or on red, Zoe with a 31.85. 31.85. Sloan and Storch on course to the top. Next up in the start, Nia Ushva. Ushva on course to the top, solo on blue. At the finish, Abigail Storch on the red course, 27.34, and Sloan on the blue course, 26.78. 26.78 for blue, red, 27.34. Solo, blue course. In the top, Julia loading on red, Junia Bastille on red, Alexandra Percassi on blue. Come through the finish, Abigail Storch on red, 27.34. Nia on blue course, 28.63. Blue, 28.63. The 4-9 DNS. Just coming, so up in the top, Eva on blue course, Gabrielle Seitz on red course. Coming through the finish, we just had blue course, 33.47. Alexandra, 33.47 at red course. Julia, red course, 36 flat, 36.00. Gabrielle, mid course on red. Eva on blue, next up in the start gate. At the finish, 50, Eva on blue course, 29.32, 29.32. Gabrielle on the red course, 37.88. Okay. Up in the top, blue course, Mackenzie, red course, Tally Nordic in the start. Looking uphill, I see the skiers sort of sliding over, getting loaded in the gate. And here we go. Tally on the red course, Mackenzie on the blue course. At the finish, blue, Mackenzie with a 31.10. Red course, Tally Nordic, 39.06. 39.06. Up in the top, Faith Dodge on the blue course, Peyton Jenkins on the red course. Yeah. So for those of you watching the video, what you'll see me doing is skipping back and forth. I have a recording form where I am making notes of any DNFs or DNSs. So that's do not finish, do not start. It looks like they're having too much fun at the top. Okay, Faith Dodge, bib 32, is at the top, putting her skis on. That's a good way to start. Okay, here, this is for Faith.
Oh, shots fired! Oh! Oh!
Okay, skiers are in the gate, getting their pole straps on. My wife, ski racer, says you can't ski race without your pole straps on your hands, on your wrists. Okay, Faith and Peyton on course. Up in the top, Bianca on the red course, bib 11. And Morley Schroeder are loaded in the start gate on the blue course. And at the finish, blue course, Faith Dodge, 32.57, 32.57. Up at the course, okay, Bianca on red, Morley on blue. Up in the top, Ellie Dunham, loaded in the blue course. Emily Miller on the red course. At the finish, Bianca on the red course, 29.37, 29.37. Blue course, 31.58. Cancel that. I had the names wrong in the start gate. Okay, Emily on the red course, Madeline on blue course. This is Emily Bastille and Madeline McCarver on blue. Waiting for the next series of racers to cycle around to the top, so I don't know who's in the start gate yet. Oh, red course has a hiccup. Emily out. And blue course, Madeline comes through with a time of 32.14. Okay, Zia on blue course at the top, Catherine Homburg on the red course. Zia laying into it, having a little skip there, staying in control. Okay, up in the top, Ruthie on the red course, Margaret on the blue course. Ruthie, Margaret on course. At the finish, Zia on the blue with a time of 28.63, 28.63. Red course finishes with 38.82. Up in the top, Anastasia Maynard on the blue course, Abigail Stonefeld on the red course. Oh, blue course goes down, 52. Okay, blue course hustling to get out of the way. Racer's still on course. Okay. Well, that was hectic. All right, let's catch up for a second. Red course, Ruthie with a 48.38, 48.38. Abigail, red course, 30.08. Margaret on the blue course, 47.63. Anastasia on blue course, 36.19. Leah Borden coming down on red. Elizabeth Bauer coming through on blue. Okay, Anna Rosenkrantz on the blue course. Grace Harris on the red course. So I don't know if my mic picks it up when I talk on the radio, but I'm talking to the officials, confirming that we have made the adjustments as the skiers come through. Sometimes it gets hectic when a DNF or DNS happens. So, Anna Rosenkrantz on the blue course. Grace Harris on the red course. Okay, these are the last two racers on course right now for the women's qualifying runs. Harris on the red course, 33.18, 33.18. Anna on the blue course, 39.23, 39.23. All right, I just got caught up with the referees on the DNS's DNFs for women's second run. Timing is clear. Finish is clear. Lower's clear. Getting ready for men's second run. Again, odds on red, evens on blue. We've got Tanner Rosick loaded on the red course, Tucker Schultz on the blue course. Guys are fast. It was crazy first runs. These guys going nuts. They've got a feel for the snow now. Let's see if they make any adjustments to their style. I'm going to say Tucker Schultz. No adjustments. Going for it. Up in the top, Spencer Peterson on red. And clap. Skylar, clap on blue. Okay, bib 4. Okay, round 2, bib 4 is not going to start. Okay, got it. And at the finish, we got Spencer Peterson going solo on red. Jason Seitz loaded on red course at the top. TJ Weaver on blue. Coming through the finish, Tucker Schultz on the blue course, 23.28, having a ripper. Tanner Rosick on the red course, 26.19. TJ and Jason on course at the top. Coming to the bottom, Spencer Peterson solo on red. Charles, red is out. That's red, bib 5. Okay, Luke Kirchmeyer's loaded in the start on the red course. Charles on the blue blue course. Charles Carlene on blue course. Come through the finish, TJ Weaver. Okay, TJ Weaver on that blue course, 22.44. Spencer Peterson on the red course, 25.12. Okay, Luke on the red course, Charles on the blue course. Up in the start gate, Dylan Kelly on red course, Sean Collins on the blue course. Oh, red course, Luke Kirchmeyer is wearing like a full suit jacket. Up at the top, Dylan Kelly on the red course, Sean Collins on blue. Next up in the start, Jackson Rance on blue, Clayton Serber on the red course. At the finish on blue, Charles with a 29.44, and Luke on the red course with a time of 26.62. Here's a good battle here. Sean on blue, Dylan on red. Sean with a time of 23.44. Dylan on red, 24.24. Parker Schmidt. Ooh, blue course. Hip hits the ground. That's Jackson Rance, bib 12. Jackson kicks out as a shark. Is that shark? Oh, bib 5 is the shark. Okay, bib 12, DNF. Okay, Clayton Serber on the red course just went 25.59, 25.59. Sean Collins, blue, 23.44. Racers at the top, Jasper Schmidt on red, Ned McBride on blue. Come through the finish, Noah Kirby on blue, 26.28. Parker Schmidt on the red just finished with a 30.70, 30.70. Up in the top, red course, Hamilton Peterson in the start gate, Nicholas Atkin on the blue. I just heard a stop start. Okay, catching up on our results here. Ned on the blue course just went 35.07. Red course, Jasper, 24.49. Okay, clear to start. This is Hamilton Peterson on the red course, Nicholas Atkin on blue. All right, dead even start. My timer in here makes a beep every time someone goes through a finish, and I just heard one beep. Oh, blue gets in the back seat. Blue is out. Man, when they get in the back seat, it is tough to recover. And red course, Hamilton, 24.88, 24.88. Ooh, red course, back seat, catch an edge, 360, ballerina twist. What? I don't know. He's still going just in case. Wow, that was wild. That's Colby. That is the local. Colby Malpass is not giving up on it. Dude, you should get into ice skating because that was a quad, whatever, deluxe. All right, Noah Bagley on the blue course just come through 24.92. Colby, I don't think there's any way they're giving you that time. But if you did get a time, it'd be a 30.48. Jury bib 19, I assume that's a DNF, or did he somehow stay in the gates? Colby, I have not heard a DNF for you yet, so I don't know. I think they're going to give it to you. Okay, 2-1-2-2 in the gate. Andrew Jacobs on red. Harrison Anderson on blue. Here we go. All right, red is going for it. Ooh, a little behind here. Trying to get back in charge. Okay, up at the top, Evan on blue course. Kingsley Aslop on the red course. Next up in the start gate, Ryan Schmidt is next up on the blue. Clayton Johnson next up on red. We've got a gate got pulled out mid-course. Evan on blue, Kingsley on red. We got skiers on course at the top. Some gate work being done. At the finish on blue, Harrison went 25.90. And then Evan just came through on blue, 26.09. Over on red, Andrew Jacobs, 27.53 on red. Kingsley, 26.38 on red. Up at the top, Edward Brookhart on course on blue. Ryder Sizik, local on red. Ryder, part of Team CMU. Been watching this kid ski his whole life. Looking good so far. At the finish on blue, Riley Schmidt, 25.28. Clayton Johnson on red, 26.45. Edward Cohen on the red course in the start gate. Owen Wood over on blue. They're on course at the top. Next up in the start, Jacob Kovacs on blue course. Ethan Squire on red. At the finish, Ryder Sizik finishes with a 28.75. 28.75. Scott. Word that Jacob Kovacs bib 32 is a DNS. Over on blue, Edward Brookhart, blue 27.98. Owen Wood on blue finishes 26.11. Edward on red, 27.56. Ethan Squire on red, solo. Connor Hamlin on blue, Dylan Schur on red. Next up in the start gate, Johan Friesen on blue, Dylan Thompson on red. Yeah, this is hard. Okay, Zachary Higby on getting loaded in the start gate on red. Frank on blue. Coming through the finish, we just had Dylan on the red course, 31.90. Connor Hamlin on blue, 25.15. Dylan Thompson is on red course coming at us. Johan Friesen, blue course. Zach on red course on top. We have a gate fully down on blue course right now. Blue getting squirrely. Blue saves it. Blue's going to get around the down gate safely. That seems good. Okay. Woo. Up in the top, Parker Anderson loaded on red. Finn Fisher loaded on blue. At the finish, Frank Morant, blue course 24.86. Dylan Thompson on the red course 23.91. And red course, Zach Higbee, red course 35.09. Gate panel getting reinstalled. Finn Fisher and Harrison Wilson up on course. Parker Anderson on red, Finn Fisher on blue. Oh, we have a telemarker. That red course, Parker Anderson telemark skis. Look at the heel lifting. This is unique. We see telemark racers ski in our business league races on Fridays, but I have not seen that in one of these races. He might, yeah, very interesting. Okay, on the blue course, Finn 24.88. 24.88 up at the top. Alexander Ball on course on blue. Harrison Wilson on course on red. Parker Anderson coming to the finish. Seems happy enough with the run. 40.97. 40.97. I'm wondering if Parker lost a bet because his first run was a 26.58 and just went 40.97 on teleskis. So don't know what's going on there. Palmer Lions on blue at the top. James McNamara on red. Coming through the finish, blue course, Alexander, 26 flat, 26.00. Harrison Wilson, red, 25.04. Francis Roth, loaded in the red start gate. John on the blue course. John Scanian. Nico Tweedy, loaded in the red. Domenico Lazaresso on the blue. Coming to the finish, red course, James with a 25.80. Palmer Lions on the blue course, 30.82. Nico Tweedy on the red course. 4-9. Okay. At the finish, blue course, Domenico 24.71, 24.71 on blue. Nico, red course, 30.65. Francis Roth on the red course just went 26.65. John on the blue course, 24.33. Jaden Spitz is on course on blue. Nikolai on red. Next up in the start gate on red, Kai Jefferson, Daniel Standage, and the loaded in the blue gate. Blue course, Daniel comes flying out of the gate. Coming down to the finish, Jaden on the blue, 25.70. 25.70. Nikolai on the red course, 32.97. 32.97 on red. Ivan Jensen on course at the top on red. Ashton Hicks on course on blue. Blue course. Yay. Okay, 5-4's break on his ski is broken. Come through the finish, catching up on the results. We had Jaden on blue, 25.70. Daniel on blue, 26.26. Oh, up at the top, Zachary Hall on red. Jack Rusinars on blue. Catching up over on red, Kai Jefferson on red, 29.23. Ivan Jensen, 30.59, 30.59. Trip Malden on the red course in the start. Marcus Hirschbrunner on blue. At the finish, Jack on blue course, 28.97, 28.97. Zachary Hall on red, 31.08. Marcus on course and Trip in red, Marcus on blue. Matt Diedrich next up in blue. Okay, mid-course, Trip on red, Marcus on blue. Trip on the red course, 27.25, 27.25. Marcus on the blue course, 26.90. Looking through my list here, I'm looking to see which course is faster. It looks like the blue course is faster than red. In most scenarios, there's a couple exceptions, but for the most part, blue is looking faster than red. I wonder what it feels like when they're skiing it. We're waiting for our last few racers to cycle around. Yeah, I've got bibs 121 and 125 loaded in the gate. My software doesn't have their names in it, but we are tracking their results, and we will fill in. They were added right at the end. We'll fill them in here in a moment once racing concludes. All right, here we go. Okay, final racers for the morning qualifying runs. Ian Blakemore on the red course, Matt Diedrich on the blue course. Coming towards us, bib 121, 125. And good times. So bib 121 blue course 33.57, red course 32.42. Final two racers on course. Red, Ian is going for it, getting a little bit wild. Ooh, fighting for it though. Looking good, geez. Yo, I was wondering about that. He was being aggressive all the way top to bottom. I wasn't sure. So that was red course 59. Okay, on the blue course, Matt with a 29.04. I believe that wraps up. That wraps up morning qualifiers. We are going to calculate results and get ready for the afternoon brackets. And that red course was aggressive at the beginning all the way down, and right where it gets heavy, on right mid-course, there's a heavy bump that spat a lot of guys out, and it got him. Okay, we are going to wrap up this broadcast. Okay, we will be back on the separate live stream. Check out powderhornracing.org at 12:30.